Well, hello there. This is Kelly with the Energy Healing Oracle 555 here on January 20th for your daily checkup to see where you are sitting right now with your journey of health, mind, body, spirit. I had a break yesterday. I've had fibromyalgia since I was 12, so I'm having a flare-up. So I listened to my body yesterday and went, nope, life is not lifing today. So I am still recovering, but this is just a note to everybody out there who's dealing with chronic things, invisible disabilities, etc. Always good if you're able to listen to your body. So I did mean to do, obviously, this reading yesterday, but all my readings, as I believe all readings in general, are timeless. It just, it's significant whenever it, comes across your desk, so to speak. So what I wanted to do was talk about the energy of the new moon and manifestation, because if you are working with manifestation, that is when you do it. I have this fantastic book called Moonology, Working with the Magic Lunar Cycles by Yasmin de Boland. She is fantastic. So she has an entry about every phase of the moon. For hundreds of years, tradition and folklore have declared that each moon phase is good for performing certain activities. And in 1967, American writer Dane Rudhyar published a seminal book called The Lumination Cycle, in which he explored the idea that the relationship of the sun and moon in our birth chart is a big key to understanding our personality. It's a great book that all hardcore moon manifestors should read. So I'm just kind of starting my journey on that. And what she says about the new moon phase is it's the time to plant the seeds of your future dreams. So manifestation. It begins 1 to 3.5 days after. And I laughed when I read this, the balsamic moon, and I guess that is the moon right before the new moon. Yes, so we have the third quarter moon phase, and then the balsamic moon phase, which is about, apparently not salad dressing, but release, a phase that begins around 10.5 days after the full moon and continues to the beginning of the new moon. So healing, soothing, surrender. So right now we're dealing with the new moon phase, and the keywords of this is a clean slate, potential, and dreams. So this is where you are looking where you're driving. You need to focus on the things that you want, and therefore it begs the question, what are your priorities right now for yourself? This is arguably, she says, the most exciting part of the lunar cycle. It might feel like a quiet time when things are brewing, but in fact, it's when you start to manifest your dreams, or not. This is a time to look forward to plan for, to make time for. Creation takes time, yes. Reciting the mantra, I am blessed, at this point in the lunar cycle will really help you out. So, I am blessed. So it's about gratitude, and also the law of attraction, the law of assumption, that the things that you want, you already have. And those are prayers issued to the divine. At the time of the new moon, ideas are coming from the ether, and we must decide which of them we want to latch onto. We need to remember that anything is possible. This is definitely the time to think about what you do want and not Think about what you don't want. Meditate on your dreams. That will allow you to tune into your highest self, so you have all the guidance you need to move forward. Having a massage is highly recommended at this time, or, and I quote, some hot sex, or even a hot bath. Anything that reminds you that you are alive in your body. What are you planning to make of your experience as human beings? So, yeah, those priorities. If you're serious about being a deliberate manifester, the new moon phase is when you should make time for yourself and put your wishes in writing or in drawing. And honestly, she says both. Writing works very well for most people. However, I think drawing or even doodling is even better. The reason for this is creating a drawing of your dream/wish means you're actually visualizing it coming true, and that's huge. And for those who don't think that they are good at visualization, and skip forward if you want to the cards flying, but for those who need a little bit of help, go with me for a second. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. I mean, we can all do this. And visualize, what does your front door look like? Color, shape, size of things, and just create it in your mind, because you know what it looks like and you're visualizing. That's it. That's all it takes, that and practice. So everyone can do it. They just need to say, okay, I don't want to visualize my front door. I want to visualize selling my book. What does that look like? What activities go with that there are that I want to experience and such? And then deciding what they are, and then writing it down and drawing it. So for this reason, it's creating a little drawing of your dream/wish. You're visualizing it coming true. It means you really start to believe it. And when you do that, you start to manifest it. As they say, if you can believe it, you can achieve it. Worried you can't draw? Doesn't matter. However, if you choose just to write down your goals, be sure to imagine them in your mind's eye as you do so. Feel them. To quote Dr. Wayne Dyer, feel the feeling of Feel the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Feel it in your body. Feel the elation. Reading your wishes out loud is also very powerful. You will radically accelerate your manifesting if you get this part of the cycle right. So, really, this part of the journey of manifestation is about dreaming, is about imagination. And if you're working with the energy of the new moon, I hope to offer you some additional guidance. I am working with a goddess deck, and obviously I chose this one because the associations of the moon and its connection to femininity. One of my favorite poets, Marge Percy, wrote poems in a book called The Moon is Always Female. Great poet if you want to look her up. So I'm going to see which goddess archetypes might be out there for my collective. And I'd like to invite in the guides and the angels, the totems, and the otherworldly beings that are with my collective. I'm going to give it one more shuffle to see what kind of guidance the goddess would like to share with us today. Whoops! Apparently she wants me to laugh at myself, which is excellent, honestly. I could use a laugh. Ooh. Okay, oh nice. We have Sedna, infinite supply. You are supplied for today and all of your tomorrows. I don't know why I'm shuffling again. And I believe, is she an Inuit? I'll have to, oh no, we're the, uh-oh. Okay, well, I'm just wanting to fly out. Iseult, undying love. So she's the Iseult of Iseult and Tristan and Iseult. The love that you have shared is eternal, regardless of the situation. Okay, so we might have some people in the collective that are dealing with relationships. This could be family, this could be a partner. So manifestation having something to do with love and relationships. And we might get a better idea as we move on. How about one more? Oh, there's two more. Okay, you know what, I'll take it. Because it's Mary Magdalene. Another one, so not just undying love, but unconditional love. And this is love for the self. Love yourself, others, and every situation, no matter what the outward appearance may be. And that's because, really, wisdom in all things. Because that's always the question. If something more uncomfortable than not is happening, the question is always to ask, what is the wisdom in this? Because there has to be. I don't believe in randomness in that way. And the last one we have is Irene, who is peace. There is no need to worry. Everything will work out beautifully. Okay, interesting. So we have, we have a pairing here. So we have an infinite supply, the sea being, you know, the body of water teeming with life. You are supplied for everything, and also there's no need to worry. So you will get what you need. Concentrate on undying love, on unconditional love, and I guess how you want to manifest that in your life. And you know, unconditional love, this doesn't have to be a love of a person. It could be love for a project. It could be something you have your heart in, something you have your heart set on. So let that resonate as it will. So I'm just gonna do that. Now I also have a moon deck, but this is actually a timing deck. And I think maybe I'll continue and I'll do 2 and 2. And they also have a number on them, so we're going to look at the numerology of what we pull and see if that gives us any additional information. Whew. Okay. There's different ways to shuffle cards, and if they're little, oops, better to do it like that. Okay. So, what do we have for infinite supply and peace? What's our timeline with how to expect that to come into manifestation? And which is a good reason to, you know, pick a timing deck, because we are manifesting things that we hope to bring about in our future. Oh, something. Yeah, I think that was it. January. Interesting. So really, this says you're supplied for today and all of your tomorrow. So the supply is already there. And we have number 15 and fireworks. That's celebrational. Okay, what else? What is going under peace? Come on. My hands are a bit less coordinated today, given the body issues. That's okay. We work with what we got, huh? One's less certain. Ooh. Okay, that's September. Okay, interesting. So that's quite a time gap, but 23 is actually my lucky number, which is interesting. So January, February, March, April, May. That's quite the time spread. So perhaps what we're saying is this is going to be there because Irene is saying the piece is already there. There's no need to worry. Everything is working out beautifully. So I would say that between the periods of at least January to September, you're gonna know the infinite supply and the peace, like what you're gonna get what you need. So don't worry. So I want to look up these numbers. Now, gosh, I hated math and math hated me, or at least it felt like that. So I was never a numbers girl until I met angel numbers. And I mean, if you think about it, numbers are the universal language, but they're also a symbol, you know, that resonates at a particular frequency, and they're called angel numbers because the divine has to figure out different ways to communicate with us that we will understand, because if we don't understand it, there's no point, right? So 15 for infinite supply is, as you go through changes in your life, stay positive. Your optimistic thoughts help you manifest the best outcomes with respect to these changes. So, okay, so changes will be happening, but if you are manifesting, which is exactly what we are asking about, then we'll have the best outcome. So that's flipping fantastic. And then 23, which is right here, you are working closely with one or more ascended masters, such as Jesus, Moses, the saints, or the goddesses. So the last daily checkup that I did, Jesus definitely came out. So I would say this collective has his support completely. And of course, as we're doing the goddesses right now, they are also backing you up. The message from your ascended master is, who can see that the answer to your prayers, hang on one second. I'm a little muddled today, I apologize. This is a message from your ascended master guides, who can see that the answer to your prayers is within reach. They encourage you to stay positive, so similar message, to ensure that you attract the best possible outcome. So these are definitely related, and I would say particularly from the 15th of, well, I guess it could be the 15th of January. We've already passed the 15th of January, but from January to 23rd, the 23rd was my late wife's birthday, manifest the heck out of your dreams, you know, focus on them, because you will have the means to fuel your dreams, I guess. Specifically, you know, food, but also the other things you need in life. Okay, so let's see what's going on with the, undying love. Oh, okay, so we have the next couple of weeks. That came out pretty quickly in comparison to September. Oops, that's 2. Taking the bottom one. Washed. Not in this lifetime. That's interesting and strange. So this one is talking about undying love. Love that you've shared is eternal regardless of the situation. So in the next couple of weeks, something is going to be commencing or strengthening, but I don't think this is necessarily a negative thing, because actually, I think I'm going to do that. It's talking about undying love, which means this love is not going to conclude in this lifetime. So this is a love that literally is eternal. So I think it's just confirmation of that. And then finding unconditional love. Love yourself, others, every situation. That is what you need to focus on over the next couple of weeks. So as we continue, when we get to the next moon phase, which is, can I just open, yes. So we have the new moon phase, and then after that we have the waxing crescent moon phase. And I will do another reading on each of the signs just to kind of guide you through that process. So 10 I know is a great positive number, so I'm just going to read that one for you. So God wants you to hold positive thoughts about this situation, as everything is working out for your highest good. Call upon God to help you stay optimistic, as your thoughts are an influencing factor in the outcome. Okay, so again, this is just saying stay positive, because you know that even death is not going to separate you from this condition of undying love, which is actually quite gorgeous. And 3, something again about the Ascended Masters that we looked up. The Ascended Masters are helping you. Usually this means an Ascended Master you feel close to, for example, Jesus, Kuan Yin, a saint, or some other spiritual or religious figure. Okay, so dial in. I would recommend doing a meditation to ask the guide that is supporting you, who is giving you like a focal support. Discover who that is and connect with them. Ask them to give you a sign that your manifestations are working out in the highest good of all concern. And now I'd like to close with, I think I'll get 2 sweet messages from the divine about each of these aspects of manifestation. And let's see what we get. I'm going to ask for 2 cards, Spirit, for additional comfort, guidance, encouragement. Because let's be honest, everybody needs that. Oh, hello. Oh! Just flying across the room. Alright, so the first one that we got for this is, whenever you talk to us, it never goes unheard. We hear every single word. This is your confirmation that we are assisting you, guiding you, and ensuring that your wishes finally come to fruition. Be patient. Everything will come together. So this is just another confirmation that you have everything that you need. You just need to be patient and keep your eye on the prize between January and September. And this one is, your life is about to start moving quickly in some areas. Events that seem to have been on hold suddenly propel forward. Move with the flow and be mindful of what needs your attention most. Make decisions rationally but sensibly. That kind of is the same thing, I think. So make sensible decisions, but I guess this is just a tip from the universe. There's some things that you didn't think were moving are suddenly going to move. So manifest that, watch out for that, and you want to focus on that working out for your highest good. And it sounds like something to do with the relationship between you and a person or something that's beloved. Okay, well, that was an interesting reading. I really enjoyed that. So don't forget to sit and write down those manifestations, draw those manifestations, and say them out loud. And as much as you can, I would recommend, memorizing them and keeping them in mind. And if there's a moment where you're, sitting, waiting for a dentist or on the subway, just, think about them, go over them, re-visualize them, say them in your mind until it becomes, this is habit, and this manifestation period is going to go for, well, there's so much information here, so I will cull it for anything else I think I can dispense to you in the small amount of time that we have when I'm doing these. Let's see. It begins 1 to 3 days after the balsamic moon, and then the next one is 3 to 7 days after the moon. So I will look up and see what the time period of manifestation is, and I will put that down in the text. So if you would like to book a personal reading with me or a personal distant Reiki treatment with me, my email is in the comments, as is anything else you might need to know about me. Thank you so much. I very much appreciate that you take the time to watch these, and I would really appreciate it if you feel there is someone else who might enjoy what I do, if you could like and subscribe and pass it on to that person, as I am in the midst of growing my new collective. All right, thank you very much. Be well, and I will see you later. Bye.